Chapter 371 Young Master, I won't let you play like this. Stare. When Zhu Kai saw the 10 colorful ambergris that Yi Feng took out, his eyes almost popped out of his head in shock. At this moment, he realized that he still underestimated Yi Feng's terrifying financial resources. At this time, Yi Feng walked to the wall again and skillfully threw 10 pill cakes out of the window. Fuck. Fuck. Aren't these the only 10 10th grade elixirs in the young master's hand? How come they have turned into elixir cakes? What on earth are the young master and that young master Yi doing in the room above? Looking at the 10 elixir cakes falling again, Mi Yuan was going crazy. Those were 10th grade elixirs. Young master, although I don't know what's going on over there, you can't do such a crazy and wasteful act. If the head of the family knows about this, he will beat you to death. Swish. Just when Mi Yuan was thinking about these things, Zhu Kai suddenly jumped out of the window of the guest room and then landed directly in front of Mi Yuan. Mr. Mi. Hurry up and take out all the 9th grade and 10th grade elixirs on you. I'm going up there to do some more big things. At this time, Zhu Kai also said to Mi Yuan with an anxious look. His top-grade elixirs were all wasted, and now he's eyeing mine? And he's going to go up there to do some big things? Looking at Zhu Kai, who was so anxious at this moment, Mi Yuan also revealed a look of bewilderment. Young master. If you don't tell me the reason, I will never give you the pills. I can't let you turn these expensive pills into pill cakes again. At this time, Mi Yuan also stared at Zhu Kai seriously and said, Mi Lao. We all made a mistake. Young Master Yi is really a spendthrift. He actually has the legendary 7-colored ambergris in his hand. You know, the 7-colored ambergris has only appeared 3 times in the upper realm. And he made a flying pill game. As long as you can beat him, you can get 10 7-colored ambergris. That's 10 plants, and the value contained is simply immeasurable. Zhu Kai also tried to calm himself down at this time, and then briefly told Mi Yuan about the situation in the guest room. Huh? Mi Lao, what are you doing? Seeing Mi Yuan walk straight to the front, Zhu Kai also asked, with a puzzled look on his face. Young master. You have lost twice in a row. I'm afraid you are not his opponent. Leave the rest of the flying pill competition to me. Hearing Zhu Kai's question, Mi Yuan answered with a serious face. Leave it to you? I finally accumulated a lot of experience and skills in the process of losing twice, but you, a novice, are going to give it away for free? Seeing Mi Yuan quickly walking towards the restaurant's main entrance, Zhu Kai finally gave up trying to persuade him, and then muttered to himself, since you want to do this, let's bear the heartache of losing our family together. In the restaurant's guest room. Change people? Is this your protector? After hearing what Zhu Kai said, Yi Feng also laughed and said, Brother Zhu Kai, if this is the case, then I can only let the protector take action. Young Master Yi, of course there is no problem, but where is your protector? Before Zhu Kai finished speaking, the door was suddenly pushed open, and then a little girl eating a lollipop walked in from outside. Mr. Mi. How strong is young Master Yi's protector? Looking at the cute little girl who came in, Zhu Kai also lowered his voice and asked Mi Lao beside him. I don't know. But her strength is definitely better than mine, and even the pressure she brings to me is far greater than that of the head of the family. At this time, Mi Lao also answered with a solemn expression. Xiaotang. The rest is up to you. Touching Yi Xiaotang's little head with a smile, Yi Feng also turned to Zhu Kai and said, Brother Zhu Kai, it's time to start. A moment later. My top-grade elixir. All of them have become elixir cakes. Mi Yuan, who was sitting on the ground, looked at the 36 elixir cakes on the ground, his eyes full of heartache, and what made him even more uncomfortable was that he didn't win a single round after 3 rounds of competition with these 36 elixirs. Mr. Mi. I recorded the competition just now with the Sky Shadow Stone. If nothing unexpected happens, my father should have seen it now. By the way, I also brought a message. You used all the 9th grade and 10th grade elixirs on me in the competition. You have to help me resist this wave, otherwise my father will definitely kill me. After all, we didn't win the 7-colored ambergris. At this time, when Mi Yuan felt extremely heartbroken, Zhu Kai on the side stabbed Mi Yuan again. I used your elixirs? You want me to help you resist a wave of damage? I'm already in such a miserable state, and you still stab me in the back. Hearing Zhu Kai's words, Mi Yuan, who was sitting on the ground, couldn't believe his ears. Is this something a human can do? At this moment, Mi Yuan suddenly noticed the movement of the sound transmission stone, and then took the sound transmission stone that responded out of his arms. A few minutes later. Mi Lao, what did my father say? After seeing Mi Yuan cut off the sound transmission stone, Zhu Kai on the side also hurriedly asked. What did he say? The head of the family said to me while sharpening the knife, let me take you and hurry back, his 3-meter-long knife is thirsty. Young master, this old slave was really tricked by you this time. When we go back, you must help me explain it clearly. Hearing Zhu Kai's question, Mi Yuan also said in a very aggrieved voice. We? Mr. Mi, I didn't say go back, just go back by yourself. After all, with young Master Ye's protector here, I will never be in any danger. After saying that, Zhu Kai took Yifeng out of the guest room, leaving Mi Yuan alone sitting on the floor in a mess. Fuck. Young master, I can't play with you like this. I have watched you grow up since you were a child. When did you become so shameless? After recovering from his shock, Mi Yuan also shouted in a state of collapse. First floor lobby. Brother Zhu Kai. Do you want to learn how to lose money from me? Sitting at the table, Yifeng also looked at Zhu Kai and asked seriously. Learn how to lose money? Hearing this, Zhu Kai also revealed a bitter smile, and then said, Young Master Yi, it's not that I don't want to learn how to lose money, it's really that I can't enjoy the process of losing money. I can help you find the golden legend. And, I can also let you follow the golden legend to steal bitter tea seeds. After hearing Zhu Kai's words, Yifeng directly used the golden legend as bait, just waiting for Zhu Kai to take the bait. Chapter 372 It's terrible, look at what these two monsters are like, young Master Yi. You are not lying to me, can you really find the golden legend? Hearing Yifeng's words, Zhu Kai's face also revealed a touch of excitement. Fuck. No way. You kept silent when talking about wasting money, but you instantly got excited when talking about stealing bitter tea seeds? Seeing Zhu Kai's excited face, Yifeng was really shocked. He found that he still underestimated the importance of the golden legend in Zhu Kai's heart. Brother Zhu Kai. I always keep my word, but if you want me to help you find the golden legend, you must become a qualified prodigal son. But don't worry, I will provide the things you need for the prodigal son. Before Yifeng finished speaking, Zhu Kai interrupted him and said, Young Master Yi, come home with me. Brother Zhu Kai, what happened at home? Hearing Zhu Kai's words, Yifeng also asked, curiously. Nothing happened. It's mainly because I was too hasty when I came out this time, and there is nothing good in the fairy ring to spend. So I want to go home and get something out, but the only thing I need to pay attention to is that I must not be discovered by my father. Looking at Yifeng with a curious face, Zhu Kai also explained with a smile. Pa. Hearing Zhu Kai's words, Yifeng did not hesitate at all, and directly took out 2 designated space portals and a 10th grade 9th level top-level hidden fairy scroll that had just been opened from the fairy scroll jar and slapped it on the table. Brother Zhu Kai. Use the designated portal to go back, this thing is fast. And this immortal scroll is a 10th grade, 9th level hidden immortal scroll. Let alone going back to get something, even if you stand in front of your father's bed, he won't be able to find you. Yifeng also introduced the things on the table at this time. Young Master Yi, is the equipment so complete? Have you done this kind of thing a lot? Hearing Yifeng's words, looking at the designated space portal and the hidden immortal scroll on the table, Zhu Kai also asked with a surprised face. I'm still far from it. I've done too little now, but I will definitely do this kind of thing often in the future. Thinking of the many hostile forces in the Star Soul Holy Land, Yifeng also smiled and explained. A moment later, returning to the guest room, seeing Zhu Kai disappear directly into the portal, Yifeng couldn't help but exclaimed, "This Zhu Kai has great potential. I am ready to provide future waste resources." Who would have thought that he would not want it, but would take it from his own home? This is really a waste. What Yifeng didn't know was that Zhu Kai's mind was full of golden legends just now, and he didn't listen carefully to what he said. After so much trouble, only 2 hours have passed. My wasteful little dragon is too damn slow to come out. After asking the system about the situation of the purple dark dragon egg, Yifeng's face also showed a touch of anxiety. First, use 10,000 colorful ambergris to help the purple dark dragon open the door to a new world of prodigals. Then after bringing it back to the Holy Land, let it follow the dog and the handsome blood. I just need to take it out to prodigals when I have nothing to do. However, I have to remind the dog at that time not to let it lead the purple dark dragon astray. Lying on the bed board, Yifeng also began to plan the growth plan of the purple dark dragon. Star Soul Holy Land, Star Soul Peak. Brother Mantis, it's so boring. In the lower realm, we too depend on each other for survival. Now that we are in the upper realm, why doesn't the master catch a fairy beast to keep for fun? If this goes on, when will our team grow stronger? Looking at Yi Xiaojiao wiping Tu Meng like a human-shaped rag not far away, the little yellow dog lying on the ground also complained to the blood-sucking mantis beside him out of boredom. Hearing the little yellow dog's complaint, the blood-sucking mantis on the side was silent at first, then gritted his teeth and said, "Brother dog, it's better to rely on yourself than on others. There are also many fairy beasts in our holy land. How about I try hard and get a few cubs first?" As the blood-sucking mantis's voice fell, Yi Xiaojiao, who was holding Tu Meng and wiping the magic hut not far away, trembled all over and said in shock, "It's too terrible. I have to find a chance to mention this to my master. See what these two monsters have become." On the other side. No. We are the master's left and right dogs. We can do whatever we want when we have nothing to do, but we must not spend our energy on this. After all, with the master's terrifying breakthrough speed, it will not take long for him to continue to ascend. At that time, we will enter the hell-like training again, so we must not let anything affect us. After hearing the blood-sucking mantis's proposal, the little yellow dog showed an extremely serious look and reminded him. "Brother dog. You are still thinking deeply. I didn't think so much." The blood-sucking mantis also showed a look of admiration and flattered the little yellow dog. However, it flattered sincerely, because it really didn't think so much, and even heard these from the little yellow dog, even it felt very surprised. Yi Xiaojiao, who was not far away, also showed a look of surprise on his face after hearing these, and then exclaimed in his heart, "This stupid dog is not stupid at all, it hides it very deeply." The seventh fairyland, the ethereal city. Young Master Yi. I'm back. We can continue the competition this time. When Zhu Kai returned to the guest room through the designated space portal, he excitedly shouted to Yifeng, who was lying on the bed. Still competing? Do you have to win those 10 colorful ambergris? Thinking of this, Yifeng also sat up from the bed and looked at Zhu Kai, who was already impatient, and asked curiously, "Brother Zhu Kai, what did you bring back this time?" "Medicine. I brought all the 9th grade and 10th grade medicines in the sect." It's definitely enough for us to play with. Hearing Yifeng's words, Zhu Kai also said excitedly. Have you brought all of them? If your father finds out, aren't you afraid of being beaten to death? Looking at the excited Zhu Kai, Yifeng asked with a surprised look. Oh right. Young Master Yi, if you hadn't mentioned this, I would have almost forgotten it. Do you still have the designated space portal and the hidden fairy scroll? Hearing Yifeng's concerns, Zhu Kai also asked hurriedly. Yes. As he said that, Yifeng took out 2 designated space portals and a hidden fairy scroll and put them on the table. Chapter 373. Sooner or later, you will get stabbed a few times. Wait. He's not going to use it himself, is he going to send it to Mr. Me? Does the young master of the upper realm like to pit the protectors around him so much? Looking at Zhu Kai, who took the portal and the hidden fairy scroll and walked out of the guest room, Yifeng also had a bold guess in his heart, and at the same time, he couldn't help but think of the old manling who was pitted by Long Xiaofeng before. In another guest room. Designated space portal? Young master, are you worried that I am too tired from traveling, or that the head of the family is waiting anxiously? You are just waiting for me to go back and get stabbed. Looking at the designated space portal that Zhu Kai handed over, Mi Yuan's face was instantly filled with black lines. Mi Lao. Of course I'm worried that you'll be too tired from traveling. But you don't have to thank me, after all, you're my protector, and you've watched me grow up since I was a child, so these are what I should do. Looking at Mi Yuan, who was now frowning, Zhu Kai also smiled and explained. You sent me back to get stabbed, and I have to thank you? I'm going back to get stabbed for you. Looking at Zhu Kai, who showed great filial piety, Mi Yuan couldn't help but want to give him a few stabs at this time. Huh. After taking a deep breath, Mi Yuan directly activated the designated space portal after stabilizing his mentality. After all, it doesn't matter if you get stabbed sooner or later, you'll get stabbed sooner or later, and since you can't avoid it, you might as well face it early. However, just as Mi Yuan was about to walk into the space portal, Zhu Kai on the side directly used the hidden immortal scroll on Mi Yuan, and kicked him directly into the space portal. Fuck. Young master, what kind of magic did you use on me? Soon, Mi Yuan's extremely uneasy shout came from the space portal. 1 wave is enough. 2 waves are enough. It's nothing more than a few more knives. But, Mr. Me, don't worry. This time I will definitely win those 10 colorful ambergris. I will never let you take these knives in vain. Looking at the gradually disappearing space portal, Zhu Kai also said to himself seriously. Is Mr. Meek gone? Did he also use the hidden immortal scroll? Looking at Zhu Kai, who returned to the guest room, Yifeng also asked directly. How did Mr. Yi know? Did he do this before? Zhu Kai was also stunned when he heard Yifeng's words. He didn't expect that the other party would describe his coquettish operation clearly. Hey! I really admire these old guys. They are really good at playing. Looking at Zhu Kai, who was stunned at the door of the room, Yifeng also confirmed his guess in his heart. Okay, let's continue the flying pill competition. Before Zhu Kai answered his question, Yifeng also stood directly behind the flying pill line. Tianhen sect. What's going on? Why didn't any of the sect disciples I met greet me? On the way to the sect hall, Mi Yuan also discovered this strange situation, which made him extremely puzzled. Immediately activate the sect protection formation. All inner and outer disciples, deacons, and elders gather in front of the sect hall immediately. Someone used the hidden immortal scroll to rob the sect's medicine cabinet. We must find him today. Just when Mi Yuan was puzzled, the angry voice of the sect master, Zhu Tianfeng, instantly resounded throughout the Tianhen sect. Stunned. After hearing this, Mi Yuan was stunned on the spot. He finally knew why those disciples didn't say hello to him, and he also knew what kind of immortal scroll Zhu Kai used on him. But what he didn't expect was that Zhu Kai not only robbed the medicine cabinet of his own sect, but also put the blame on him. Such a crazy blame-shifting behavior, let alone people, even dogs, can't do it. The 7th Fairyland, Kongling City. In the guest room of the restaurant. Young Master Yi. Are there any designated space portals and hidden immortal scrolls? I'll go back and get some more immortal herbs, immortal tools, etc., and then sell them to buy a batch of elixirs. Zhu Kai, who had lost 20 games in a row and spent all his elixirs, was completely drunk at this time. Looking at the 10 colorful ambergris that Yi Feng stuffed over, Zhu Kai was also stunned, and then looked at Yi Feng with a confused face and asked, "Young Master Yi, what do you mean by this? Give it to you. I'm afraid that if you continue to play, Mr. Me will be chopped to death. Besides, I feel that you are not spending money, but have become a gambler." Looking at Zhu Kai, who had calmed down, Yi Feng also reminded him with a serious face. After hearing Yi Feng's words, Zhu Kai also smiled bitterly and thought to himself, I don't want to be a gambler either. The main reason is that if I can't win these 10 colorful ambergris, not to mention that Mr. Me will be chopped to death, I will also be chopped to death when I go back. Okay. From now on, I will provide you with the things you need to lose money. Just work hard to lose money. Only in this way can you gradually feel the joy of losing money and have the hope of becoming a qualified loser. At this time, Yi Feng also looked at Zhu Kai and continued to speak, and at the same time thought to himself, absolutely can't play small games with this guy anymore, this guy is really crazy. Oh. Hearing Yi Feng's words, Zhu Kai's eyes also lit up. If Yi Feng provided the things needed to lose money, then he would not have any psychological burden. It's not just losing money casually. If he felt heartache, he would think that there was something wrong with his heart. Why did Master Yi lie on the bed again? Forget it, I'd better take a good look at these 10 colorful ambergris. Seeing Yi Feng lying on the bed again, Zhu Kai did not ask too much, and looked at the 10 colorful ambergris in his hand with excitement. After a long time. Ding. Remind the host that the purple dark dragon egg is about to hatch, and the dragon egg can be taken out of the system space. As the system's prompt sounded, Yi Feng also took the purple dark dragon egg out of the system space with excitement. Huh. Master Yi, what kind of egg is this, is it precious? Noticing that Yi Feng took out a 2-meter-long giant egg, Zhu Kai also asked with surprise. Precious. Very precious. Very precious. Hearing Zhu Kai's question, Yi Feng also smiled and explained. After all, this purple dark dragon is a big killer. Not only can it make itself lose money, but in order to allow it to break through its own limits in the future, the cultivation resources that can be spent on it in the future are extremely terrifying. Very precious equals lose money? After hearing this, Zhu Kai thought about it and directly suggested to Yi Feng, Young Master Yi, why don't we roast it and eat it? Roast it and eat it? Why do you young masters always want to roast dragon eggs? After hearing this, Yi Feng also showed a touch of shock and looked at Zhu Kai. Chapter 374 I fell out of favor as soon as I came out. Shocked. Stupid. Stupefied. It seems that I have a talent for spending money. Just a suggestion of spending money has stunned Master Yi. Looking at Yi Feng's shocked expression, Zhu Kai was also secretly proud in his heart. This purple dark dragon egg cannot be roasted, because it is the last one. At this time, Yi Feng, who had recovered, explained directly to Zhu Kai. What? Is this the purple dark dragon egg from Tianhen Valley? However, when Zhu Kai learned that the giant egg in front of him was actually a purple dark dragon egg, his expression changed drastically and he exclaimed. A moment later. Young Master Yi. You said that the young master of Tianhen Valley, Lan Xiaofeng, roasted another dragon egg for you in order to ruin his family? And you not only ate one, but also bought the other one? You even bought the 3 Qingxian demon dragons and 30 shadow earth dragons of Tianlong Valley? After listening to what Yifeng said, Zhu Kai couldn't believe his ears. Although their Qi Tian sect had no intersection with Tianlong Valley, he also knew that these were all symbols of Tianlong Valley's status. He really didn't expect that Yifeng could buy them all. He couldn't imagine how terrible a price Yifeng paid. By the way, Brother Zhu Kai, what are you going to do with the 10 colorful ambergris in your hand? Yifeng also hurriedly asked Zhu Kai when he found that the eggshell of the purple dark dragon egg began to show a little crack. How to deal with it? Then we must worship it like an ancestor. Young Master Yi, you are a full man who does not know the hunger of a hungry man. Let alone 10 7-colored ambergris, even one plant can definitely become the treasure of my Qi Tian sect. Hearing Yifeng's question, Zhu Kai directly said the real thought in his heart. What do you mean by shaking your head and sighing? This is the colorful ambergris, are you planning to use it to ruin your family? Seeing Yifeng shaking his head and sighing, Zhu Kai felt a little uneasy for some reason. Crack. 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 At this moment, as the cracks on the dragon egg became more and more, the crisp sound of the eggshell breaking also rang out. Soon, under the gaze of Yifeng and Zhu Kai, a 2-meter-long purple dark dragon covered with black and purple dragon scales broke out of the shell and crawled out of the giant egg. Master. When the purple dark dragon crawled out, it also looked at Yifeng and made a childish cry. Transform into a human form. Looking at the purple dark dragon, Yifeng also gave an order directly. He was now very curious whether this purple dark dragon was male or female. A moment later. Fuck. No way, he's a boy. When Yifeng saw the purple dark dragon transformed into a cute little boy, a hint of disappointment flashed in his eyes, and then he muttered to himself, it seems that the previous training plan needs to be changed. After using these 10,000 colorful ambergris to open up the situation, just throw it to the dog, and train it however the dog wants. What's going on? Why do I feel that the master's eyes have changed in an instant when he looks at me? Have I fallen out of favor as soon as I came out? At this time, the purple dark dragon noticed the change in Yifeng's expression, and a hint of confusion flashed on his cute little face. At this time, the intelligence displayed by the purple dark dragon has far exceeded Yifeng's imagination. Is this the legendary purple dark dragon? It is said that as long as this purple dark dragon has enough dark dragon amethysts, its strength can be rapidly improved, and it will not encounter any bottlenecks at all. Zhu Kai, who was standing aside, also set his eyes on the purple dark dragon. A moment later. Fuck. How many colorful ambergris are there? Mr. Yi said before that he has a lot of this stuff, he is not kidding. When Zhu Kai saw the 9,990 colorful ambergris that Yifeng took out, his eyes almost popped out of his head in shock, and even when he looked at the 10 in his hand, he suddenly felt a little shabby. Fuck, lose favor. I was overthinking. Although I don't know what these are, I can feel that the power contained in them will definitely be of great benefit to me. At this time, the purple dark dragon looked at the densely packed colorful ambergris, and his eyes began to glow green. Little spear dragon. These colorful ambergris are all yours, what are you going to do with them? Looking at the purple dark dragon, Yifeng asked directly, without a good mood. Master, don't worry. I will definitely eat all these colorful ambergris. Hearing Yifeng's question, the purple dark dragon answered excitedly. Pung. With a muffled sound, the purple dark dragon was kicked out of the window by Yifeng. What's going on? That's the purple dark dragon. As long as there are enough dark dragon purple crystals, the other party is a terrifying fairy beast that can break through to the 9th peak of the immortal tribulation realm. Instead of cultivating a good relationship in the early stage, he just kicked it with a big flying kick. Looking at the purple dark dragon flying out of the window, Zhu Kai was dumbfounded. He really wanted to say to Yifeng now, even if you want to kick it out, you should put some clothes on it. Young Master Yi. Why do I feel like you don't like it very much? After recovering from his shock, Zhu Kai also asked Yifeng with curiosity. Yeah. I just don't like it. I thought it was a little girl who would grow up to be a queen, but who would have thought it was a boy? At this point, Yifeng also revealed a trace of regret and continued, I baked it wrong at the beginning, that egg might be a female, I should have baked this one. Is this the way of thinking of a spendthrift rich man? If someone else has a purple dark dragon egg and can hatch it, they won't care whether it's male or female. They will definitely treat them equally. But why do you treat it like a pet? After listening to what Yifeng said, Zhu Kai also fell into deep thought. It was really hard for him to understand Yifeng's idea. When he saw the purple dark dragon coming back from outside, he shook his head and said to himself, Little gun dragon, your life will be hard in the future. Speak. How are you going to deal with these colorful ambergris? Looking at the purple dark dragon coming back, Yifeng asked again with a serious face. Master. Then I will protect all these colorful ambergris? The purple dark dragon also answered carefully again at this time. Pung. Seeing the purple dark dragon flying out of the window again, Zhu Kai looked at Yifeng curiously and asked, Young Master Yi, although I don't know what your answer is, I am very curious. If it is a female, but the answer is wrong, will you kick it like this? Chapter 375 Little Spear Dragon, it is still a child. No. But I will remember all its mistakes, and when it grows up, I will beat it with a stick. Hearing Zhu Kai's question, Yifeng also answered seriously. Fuck. If it is really a female, you will beat it to death when it grows up. It's better than this male. You clearly don't like males or females. After listening to what Yifeng said, Zhu Kai also complained crazily in his heart. After a moment. Speak. What are you going to do with these colorful ambergris? Looking at the purple dark dragon who returned again, Yifeng continued to ask. Eating is not allowed. Protecting is not allowed. Just when the purple dark dragon didn't know how to answer, he suddenly noticed a black spear in the corner, and then said directly, Master, I think the long thing in the corner is pretty good. If it doesn't work, use these colorful ambergris to make something like that. After that, the purple dark dragon lay down in the direction of the window very skillfully to facilitate Yifeng's kick again. It didn't think that its answer was correct, and this kick might be more fierce than the previous two kicks. This little guy is quite self-aware. This colorful ambergris is a fairy grass, but it actually wants to use it to make a fairy weapon. It's amazing that it can think of this. I'm afraid that with the next kick, its two big pieces of meat will be kicked into pieces. At this time, Zhu Kai on the side was also smiling and waiting to see the other party being kicked out again. Little Spear Dragon. You finally got it. Although this world is still very unfamiliar to you, you only need to know one thing, that is, if you stay with me, you won't be beaten as long as you are a spendthrift. Otherwise, you know the consequences. However, contrary to Zhu Kai and Ziming and Long's expectations, Yifeng on the side was extremely satisfied with this answer. Young Master Yi. Are you kidding me? This is the 7-colored ambergris, a top-level fairy grass, and it is impossible to use it to create a fairy weapon. And even if it can be made into a fairy weapon, it can't be done that way. Zhu Kai, who had recovered, also showed an incredible look and looked at Yifeng to remind him. Brother Zhu Kai. How can you say this? You are going to be a spendthrift, and this is a very good way to be a spendthrift. Why do you care whether it can succeed or not? If you still have this mentality, when can you become a spendthrift? Don't you want to see the golden legend? Hearing this, Yifeng also looked at Zhu Kai seriously and reminded him. Stupid. When Zhu Kai heard what Yifeng said, he was stunned. Although he wanted to see the golden legend and become a prodigal, he couldn't be so prodigal. That was the 7-colored ambergris, a treasure that the Tianhen sect had to worship like an ancestor. Master. What does prodigal mean? Is that what I just said? At this time, Ziming Dark Dragon also tilted his head and asked Yifeng with a silly face. That's right. The way you just said is a waste of money. Brother Zhu Kai, I'll take the colorful ambergris out for a while. You stay and explain to the little spear dragon what a waste of money is. After saying that, Yifeng took all the colorful ambergris and left the guest room. Little spear dragon. It's so damn small. But it's still a child now. If it grows up and still calls this name, I don't know if this little guy can stand it. Looking at Yifeng, who was leaving, Zhu Kai also set his eyes on the purple dark dragon. System, use the opportunity to spy on the secrets of heaven once, and check if there is anyone in this ethereal city who can use these colorful ambergris to create a long spear fairy weapon. After leaving the restaurant, Yifeng also gave the system a direct order. Ding. Consume 1 chance to spy on the secrets of heaven. There is a fairy weapon shop in the East District of Kongling City. The owner is Gong Feng, who is a peak powerhouse in the 3rd level of the Fairy Calamity Realm and a 9th-grade weapon refiner. He can use these 7-colored ambergris to create a long spear fairy weapon. Soon, the system's voice sounded in Yifeng's mind. A moment later. According to the small map given by the system, Yifeng also came to the door of the fairy weapon shop where Gong Feng was. I will not create a fairy weapon today, please go back. As soon as he entered the immortal weapon shop, a rough voice sounded, and a sturdy middle-aged man appeared in Yifeng's sight. Why not forge it? After hearing this, Yifeng looked at Gong Feng and asked. Rules. This is my rule. On the 1st, 10th and last day of every month, I will not forge immortal weapons. No one can make them, no matter how much they pay. Hearing Yifeng's question, Gong Feng, who was lying on the rocking chair, directly stated the rules he had set. Pung. At this moment, with a muffled sound, a 2-meter-high magic spirit fantasy stone hit the ground hard. Pung. Pung. Then, Yifeng took out the same-sized purple dark crystal and fire-white pure stone and smashed them on the ground. That's the magic spirit illusion stone, the purple nether mysterious crystal, and the fire-white purity stone. So fucking big. At this time, Gong Feng, who was lying on the rocking chair, had already stood up in shock, and his eyes were filled with disbelief when he looked at the 3 pieces of immortal minerals. I wanted you to help me make an immortal weapon, and then use these immortal minerals as a reward. Since you have your own rules, forget it. After saying that, Yifeng was ready to put all 3 pieces of immortal minerals into the system space. Master, wait a minute. Rules are dead, people are alive. I have been adhering to this rule for thousands of years. To be honest, I am a little tired of it. It is time to make some adjustments. Gong Feng paused and continued, my rule in the future is that I will not forge immortal weapons on the 1st, 11th and last day of each month. Today is the 10th day, so I can forge immortal weapons. Seeing Yifeng preparing to leave with 3 pieces of immortal ore, Gong Feng also shouted hurriedly. A moment later. This young master. Will you really give me all these 3 pieces of immortal ore if I help you forge an immortal weapon? At this time, Gong Feng also looked at Yifeng lying on the rocking chair with a nervous face and asked. Of course. However, why don't you plan to snatch these 3 pieces of immortal ore from me? After all, I am just a small cultivator at the peak of the 9th level of the earthly immortal realm. After answering Gong Feng's question, Yifeng also looked at the other party and asked, curiously. Chapter 376 If I weren't poor, I would also want to spend money like this. Rob? I'm not fucking robbing. Who knows if there are powerful protectors around you? After hearing what Yifeng said, Gongfeng complained in his heart, and then explained with a smile, "Young master, since I can make a living with my skills, why should I burn, kill, and plunder? That will only bring me invisible crises." Hey! The law of good people has started again. It's still interesting in the chaotic wasteland. At least if I'm there, the law of good people I carry will be invalid, and I can meet a few little villains. Hearing Gongfeng's explanation, Yifeng sighed helplessly. "Gu Fengshan, I am the lord of Tiangue City, a peak strongman in the 9th level of the immortal tribulation realm. You call me a little villain? Damn it," he actually sighed. "I didn't kill anyone to steal the ore," and he was disappointed. He's trying to lure me in? Seeing Yifeng's appearance at this time, Gongfeng's face changed, and he was more certain that there must be a protector of the other party guarding in secret, and his strength is likely to be higher than his own. "Senior Gongfeng, I wonder if you can use some fairy grass and some fairy ore to make a long spear fairy weapon." Yifeng also looked at Gongfeng and told him the purpose of this visit. Crap. He actually knows my name. I came to this Kongling city for more than 200 years, and I didn't use my real name. He investigated me thoroughly and came here to lure me in. Hearing Yifeng actually say his real name, Gongfeng's face changed in vain. He didn't dare to imagine if he really had the intention to kill people and steal the ore just now, whether he could still stand here and breathe. "Young master, I have tried to blend immortal herbs into immortal tools before, but I used some garbage immortal minerals and garbage immortal herbs. But I succeeded in the end. So, I dare not say others, but I am absolutely confident." After recovering from his shock, Gongfeng also answered with confidence. "That is, the legendary 7-colored ambergris." When Gongfeng saw the colorful ambergris that Yifeng took out from the system space, a gleam of light flashed in his eyes, and then he became excited. What's going on? Why didn't this guy feel shocked at all, but showed an extremely excited look? I was going to integrate these nearly 100,000 colorful ambergris into the fairy weapon, shouldn't he persuade me? Seeing Gongfeng's excited look, Yifeng was confused. "Senior Gongfeng, I want to build a long spear fairy weapon, the higher the grade, the better, and under the premise of integrating these colorful ambergris, what fairy minerals do you need? I will provide them to you." Yifeng also looked at Gongfeng and asked. "Master, I don't know who uses this long spear fairy weapon, and what kind of attribute of the practice he practices." Hearing Yifeng's words, Gongfeng also asked seriously. "For the fairy beasts. It doesn't need any attributes, the heavier, the better, and it must be extremely hard." After hearing what Gongfeng said, Yifeng also directly stated his requirements. A moment later, after Yifeng used his spendthrift points to get more than 10 kinds of top-level fairy ores from the fairy ore jar, he looked at Gongfeng with curiosity and asked, "Senior Gongfeng, don't you think my behavior is very wasteful? What's wrong with being a spendthrift? If you don't spend money, how can I have the opportunity to create such a crazy long spear fairy weapon? If I wasn't poor, I would also want to spend money like this." Hearing Yifeng's question, Gongfeng also directly expressed his thoughts. Hearing the other party's words, Yifeng also showed a touch of surprise. He had thought of countless answers from the other party, but he didn't expect that the other party would answer him like this. "Master, you don't have to look at me like that. My views on some things are different from others. Otherwise, why would I try to use fairy ore and fairy grass to create fairy weapons together? To be honest, I have long wanted to use some top-level fairy ore and top-level fairy grass to create fairy weapons, but I don't have them in my hands." Seeing Yifeng looking at him with a strange look, Gongfeng also smiled and explained. "Senior Gongfeng, you are not also a spendthrift, right? Hearing this, Yifeng also asked with a surprised look on his face. I guess so. Unfortunately, I am a poor man. What I get from the Tiandao battlefield every year is not enough for me to defeat. Having said this, Gongfeng took Yifeng into the inner room of the immortal weapon shop. A long bow with bowstrings on both sides. A long stick with small spikes all over the stick. A soft long sword. A dagger without a hilt and extremely sharp. Looking at the various strange and bizarre immortal weapons placed in the inner room, Yifeng was completely dazzled. Master, how about these artworks of mine? You know, these are all made with the best fairy ore in my hand, and after completing your business, I can use the 3 fairy ore to make some special fairy weapons. Looking at these proud works, Gongfeng's face also revealed a touch of pride. Fuck. This guy is interesting. Looking at Gongfeng's proud look, Yifeng thought to himself, this guy must be taken to the Holy Land. Master. It may take a day to make this long spear fairy weapon. At this time, Gongfeng, who was about to start working, also looked at Yifeng and reminded him. Okay. Then you start making it, I'll come back tomorrow. After that, Yifeng left the fairy weapon shop directly. A giant spear of 50 meters long. I really want to see how interesting it is when the little spear dragon holds this giant spear. After leaving the fairy weapon shop, Yifeng also laughed and talked to himself. Outside the restaurant. Fuck. What's going on? Looking at the little spear dragon flying out of the window of the guest room, Yifeng was also stunned and stood there. Very quickly, when Yifeng returned to the guest room of the restaurant, he looked at Zhu Kai, whose face was full of anger, and asked in confusion, Zhu Kai, why did you kick the little spear dragon out? Master Yi. You are finally back. I explained to the little spear dragon what a spendthrift is, but it took advantage of my inattention and ate my 10 colorful ambergris. Seeing Yifeng standing at the door of the room, Zhu Kai also cried with a broken face. Huh? Brother Zhu Kai, is there something wrong with your explanation? It is a dragon-like fairy beast. If it eats the colorful ambergris, it is not considered a spendthrift. Hearing Zhu Kai's cry, Yifeng asked back with a puzzled look. Chapter 377, Stealing equals your own equals spendthrift. The main reason is that it didn't absorb the power inside. After eating, it pulled it out directly from the back. 10 plants, the power of 10 colorful ambergris is contained in that lump. Hearing Yifeng's question, Zhu Kai finally collapsed and shouted. 8? Pooped? Is the power contained in that lump? After listening to what Zhu Kai said, Yifeng was really shocked. Although he admitted that Xiao Qianlong's spending was very reasonable, it was indeed a bit disgusting. Huh? Brother Zhu Kai, where is that lump? Why don't I see it? After Yifeng glanced around the guest room, he looked at Zhu Kai with a puzzled look and asked. Well, I put it away. No matter what, it contains the power of 10 colorful ambergris, so it must not be thrown away. Hearing Yifeng's question, Zhu Kai also explained with embarrassment. Fuck. Brother Zhu Kai, how can you do that? With this, how can you become a prodigal son? Knowing that Zhu Kai actually put that pile away, Yifeng was really convinced. He felt that it was really difficult to make Zhu Kai a prodigal son. Is it warm? It's warm, and it doesn't smell bad, but it has a fragrance. Speaking of this, Zhu Kai suddenly stopped, looking at Yifeng opposite who was looking at him with a smile. He wanted to find a crack in the ground to crawl into. Master, you're back. I was a spendthrift again just now. But why did he kick me? At this time, Xiao Qianlong, who walked into the guest room, saw Yifeng and first told him about his spendthrift behavior, and then asked Yifeng with a puzzled look on his face. Xiao Qianlong. You have to remember one thing, you can spendthrift, but you must never spend money on other people's things. Before Zhu Kai finished speaking, Yi Feng on the side suddenly interrupted him. Xiao Qianlong. This is how a spendthrift is, you did a good job this time. As for why he kicked you, it's because I'm not here. If I were here, he wouldn't kick you. And when you know more in the future, you will definitely have a lot of new ideas for squandering money, so just squander money, and don't worry about who the things belong to. I will help you solve all the problems. Just squander money, and don't worry about who the things belong to. Isn't this a robber? Hearing Yi Feng's words, Zhu Kai on the side was stunned. Young Master Yi. Isn't it not good for you to educate Xiao Qianlong like this? You can squander money, but you can't squander money with other people's things. Aren't you teaching Xiao Qianlong bad things? After recovering from his shock, Zhu Kai also hurriedly reminded Yi Feng, Brother Zhu Kai. Have you ever robbed other people's things in the Tianhen battlefield? Hearing Zhu Kai's words, Yi Feng asked back with a calm expression. I robbed it. The strong prey on the weak, I rob you without negotiation. After hearing this, Yi Feng continued to ask with a smile, then are the things you robbed yours? Of course. Everything you robbed is definitely yours. At this point, Zhu Kai suddenly reacted, then revealed a bitter smile and said, Young Master Yi, I fell into a misunderstanding, your educational philosophy is right. Robbing equals own equals ruining the family. At this time, Xiao Qianlong on the side also summarized some extremely important information through the conversation between the two. Okay. Nothing, I'll take a rest. Brother Zhu Kai, take the little gun dragon out to buy some clothes, and then explain the situation of this world to it, such as strength realm, fairy ore, fairy grass, etc. After saying that, Yi Feng left Zhu Kai's guest room and walked directly to his own guest room. What are you doing? You hatched the cub, and now you want me to take care of it? Looking at Yi Feng, who left, Zhu Kai was going crazy. He didn't learn the prodigal, didn't see the golden legend, and the 10 colorful ambergris turned into a pile. Now he has to learn the way of nanny? In the guest room. System, start the plan to save the rotten master. First catch a big guy in the god realm, and then make the next plan. After returning to the guest room, Yi Feng also directly told the system his thoughts. Ding. Host, you just need to tell the requirements, and leave the rest to the members of the prodigal guard. They will find suitable targets in the god realm according to your requirements. Soon, the voice of the system rang in Yi Feng's mind. Female. Never accepted a disciple. Self-cultivator. A decent one. As Yi Feng finished speaking, the system's voice sounded again, ding. Host, please choose who will take action? Let Yi take action. Thinking of finding someone who can do things safely, Yi Feng finally decided to let Yi take action. God realm. Chu Xingyue, you keep running. Why don't you run? Looking at Chu Xingyue lying on the ground, Zhao Yuqiang also showed a wicked smile on his face. Zhao Yuqiang. I trusted you so much, but I didn't expect you to poison me. Chu Xingyue, who looked weak and unable to mobilize the divine power in her body, looked at the man who was walking towards her step by step, and cursed angrily. Chu Xingyue, is this my fault? I have been fighting in the Tianhen battlefield with you for hundreds of years. When you encounter danger, I always stand in front of you. I did that not for you to accompany me to take a bath or sleep with me? Hearing Chu Xingyue's curse, Zhao Yuqiang sneered and said. Son of a bitch. You still have the nerve to say that. You took action when I could solve the danger myself. You took action when I couldn't solve the danger myself, and then you found that you couldn't solve it either, and you ran faster than anyone else. In the end, I worked hard to resolve the crisis again and again, and I also bought you time to escape. You still want me to have a good impression of you? After hearing what Zhao Yuqiang said, Chu Xingyue was so angry that she started cursing again. Ahem, hearing this, Zhao Yuqiang's face flashed with embarrassment, and then he said directly, Chu Xingyue, I don't want to talk nonsense with you. Anyway, you are mine today, whether you live or die, and no one can save you. Sorry. Today she is mine. Just then, a full of teasing voice suddenly sounded from behind Zhao Yuqiang. Swish. Hearing this full of teasing voice, Zhao Yuqiang's expression changed drastically and he looked back directly. He couldn't imagine how someone could appear behind him silently. Don't be nervous. I finally came out once, I won't kill you directly. Looking at the nervous Zhao Yuqiang, Yi also showed a devilish smile. Chapter 378 My lord, I really didn't do anything. After a while. Hurry up. Faster. I must catch up with him. At this time, Yi, with his feet on Zhao Yuqiang's back and head, grabbed a rope in Zhao Yuqiang's mouth and shouted excitedly in the air. Fuck. Don't play with me. It's okay to treat me as a divine beast, but you tell me who to chase, and you keep asking me to chase, and let me chase the air in circles? At this time, Zhao Yuqiang, who was flying in the air at a high speed like Superman, was going crazy. If he couldn't beat the other party, he would have committed suicide by now. Don't bully people like this. Who is this guy? Why did he save me? And he humiliated Zhao Yuqiang so much to avenge me. Does he have any idea about me? Looking at the handsome and charming Yi standing on Zhao Yuqiang in the air, Chu Xingyue on the ground also fell into a state of infatuation. It's almost time. If I continue to play, it will affect my efficiency. Thinking of this, Yi's face turned cold in an instant, and then he kicked Zhao Yuqiang under his feet to the ground below with a sudden force on his right foot. Boom! With a loud bang, Zhao Yuqiang also crawled out of the pit full of smoke and dust with blood all over his body. I wanted to spare your life. Who would have thought that you would be so disappointing that you couldn't even catch up with him? If that's the case, what's the point of me keeping you alive? As Yi's dissatisfied voice sounded, Zhao Yuqiang, who had just crawled out of the pit, didn't understand what was going on before he saw a golden blade flash past his eyes. When his consciousness was about to dissipate, Zhao Yuqiang yelled in his heart, You bastard, who the hell did you let me chase? You won't let me die knowingly. Thank you for your help. At this time, Chu Xingyue also came to Yi, and then said with gratitude. Why are you thanking me? Killing him was just to have some fun for myself, and my main purpose this time was to kidnap you. Hearing Chu Xingyue's words, Yi frowned and said the purpose of his trip. Aren't you here to save me, but to kidnap me? Hearing Yi's words, Chu Xingyue was stunned on the spot. This was different from what she thought. After countless years, a man who could make her heart beat finally appeared, but he came to kidnap her. Wait. At this moment, Chu Xingyue suddenly thought of something, and then hurriedly looked at Yi and asked, Sir, then, do you want to rob me of money or rape me? God damn, rob me of money or rape me? I am here to kidnap you to be my disciple on the orders of my lord. Noticing that Chu Xingyue's eyes looking at him were getting more and more wrong, Yi admitted that at this moment, he began to panic. Upper Realm, 7th Fairyland, Kongling City. In the guest room of the restaurant. Fuck. Be normal, please, stop looking at me. Finding that Chu Xingyue was still looking at him with those affectionate eyes, and then looking at Yi Feng, who was looking at him with strange eyes, Yi was going crazy at this moment. He really wanted to say to Yi Feng, My lord, I really didn't do anything. Yi. What's going on? After a while, Yi Feng looked at Yi with a smile and asked. My lord. Listen to my explanation, it's not what you think. I said I wanted to kidnap her, but she actually asked me whether I wanted to rob her for money or sex. I was so confused. Then I brought her down. I really didn't do anything. Hearing Yi Feng's question, Yi hurriedly explained in a panic. Damn, I miscalculated. The request I made before still had a flaw. How come I caught a LSP? After hearing Yi Yi's explanation, Yi Feng was also shocked. He really didn't expect that the situation would be like this. After kidnapping, she still asked whether I wanted to rob her for money or sex. Is this the way a normal person should think? After letting Yi Yi leave first, Yi Feng looked at Chu Xinyue and said, I had only one purpose for letting people catch you, and that is to let you accept my master as your apprentice. Huh? Chu Xinyue was also stunned when she heard what Yi Feng said. Just a subordinate could capture her from the god realm to the upper realm. This kind of existence was beyond her imagination. However, she never expected that the other party's purpose was to let her accept a disciple here. A moment later, when Chu Xinyue understood the plan to save her slacking master, a look of surprise appeared on her face. Looking at Yi Feng, who looked serious, she couldn't help but exclaimed in her heart, I thought that Yi Yi was already very good at playing, but who would have thought that this Yi Feng was even better at playing? Young Master Yi. As long as you can create an opportunity for me to meet your master, leave the rest to me. I will definitely complete this task. Looking at Yi Feng, Chu Xinyue also made a promise. After all, no matter what the other party's purpose is, after all, he saved her by accident, so she has to accept this favor, not to mention that the other party's level of existence can take a fancy to her, which is giving her face. If she doesn't know what's good for her, she can really die. Xiaojian. Send her back to the god realm. Hearing Chu Xinyue's promise, Yi Feng nodded with satisfaction, and then called Yi Xiaojian, who was standing outside the door. Young Master Yi. I have an unwelcome request, that is, can I let that Yi Yi send me back? Seeing the one-armed swordsman who came in, Chu Xinyue hurriedly asked Yi Feng. Fuck. Is this woman eyeing Yi Yi? Hearing this, looking at Chu Xinyue's expectant eyes, Yi Feng also shook his head helplessly, and then called Yi Yi out. After a moment. Although there was a little problem, the plan to save the slacking master has officially begun. Next, we have to find an opportunity to let the master go out for training. When Yi Yi took Chu Xinyue away, Yi Feng also thought about how to let Luo Qianxue go out for training. On the other side. Little Spear Dragon. Do you know what it means to rob? That's only called robbing when your strength is far superior to others. What you are doing now is called buying, and I'm the one who's paying for it. The fairy crystals in my fairy ring are almost gone. At this time, Zhu Kai grabbed the little spear dragon and pressed it directly against the wall and scolded it loudly. What do you mean by buying or not buying? I don't understand what that means. I just know that I got these by my own ability. What does it have to do with you? What I got is mine. I want to squander it. Hearing Zhu Kai's reprimand, Xiao Qianlong retorted in great dissatisfaction. Chapter 379, The First Bandit Dragon in the Heavens and 10,000 Worlds. Fuck. You said it has nothing to do with me? If I hadn't paid for you crazily in the back, you would have been caught and steamed and braised. Hearing Xiao Qianlong's words, especially seeing the other party's indignant look, Zhu Kai's body shook uncontrollably. Huh. After taking a deep breath, Zhu Kai grabbed Xiao Qianlong's collar and lifted him up, and walked directly towards the restaurant. Since he couldn't make sense, he had to let Yi Feng talk, otherwise, he was afraid that if he talked for a while, he would be angry to death. In the guest room of the restaurant. Young Master Yi. This is what happened. But I really can't explain it. This little thing doesn't believe me at all. You should talk to him. After coming to the guest room, Zhu Kai explained the whole story, and then sat aside with a sullen look, thinking to himself, let your master talk to you this time, I don't know if you dare to refute it. The little yellow dog will definitely become the #1 sword dog in the world. Although the blood-sucking mantis can make pills, it still feels a little bit off. I still have to help it change its ultimate goal in the future. And this little gun dragon has given me inspiration. Why not train it to become the #1 fierce bandit dragon in the world? After listening to what Zhu Kai said, Yifeng thought about the future growth direction of the little gun dragon. Little gun dragon. Your performance is very good. If you rob it with your own ability, that's your own ability. If you can rob it, why buy it? At this time, after determining the growth direction of the little gun dragon, Yifeng also smiled and praised the little gun dragon. What does it mean to rob it with its own ability? I was the one who paid the bill for it. Zhu Kai was stunned when he heard what Yifeng said. This was different from what he thought. Young Master Yi. Your education is wrong. If I hadn't paid the bill for it, it would have been captured long ago. If you want to rob, your own strength is very important. You have to make it clear to it. After recovering, Zhu Kai also reminded Yifeng anxiously. Brother Zhu Kai. If you rob someone else's things, but find that you are not the opponent's opponent, what should you do? Hearing Zhu Kai's words, Yifeng asked calmly. Of course, let Mi Lao do it. As my protector, Mi Lao will basically protect me in the dark except now. Hearing Yifeng's question, Zhu Kai also directly expressed his thoughts. So, Mi Lao's move is to help you pay, right? Yifeng continued to ask after hearing this. How is it possible? Since I want to rob, how can I pay? At this point, Zhu Kai suddenly froze in place, because he finally reacted. If the little gun dragon was caught, Yifeng would definitely take action. And thinking of the terrifying guardian beside Yifeng, Zhu Kai dared to guarantee that no one in the entire Kongling city could withstand the opponent's move. Crap. So my money was wasted? Thinking of the fairy crystals he spent, Zhu Kai felt like a big fool. Master. You should find someone else to teach me. I'm afraid that if he teaches me again, he will teach me badly. At this time, the little gun dragon on the side also looked at Yifeng and said seriously. Change someone? I teach you badly? You are so bad now, do you still need me to teach you badly? Hearing what little spear dragon said, Zhu Kai couldn't believe his ears. You know, from the beginning to the end, his education was absolutely the most correct. How could this be his problem? Then let's go back to the Holy Land. Let your dog brother and mantis brother take care of you. They should be able to take care of you. Hearing what little spear dragon said, Yifeng also felt that Zhu Kai really couldn't lead little spear dragon well, so it would be better to just throw it to little yellow dog and bloodthirsty mantis. Young Master Yi. Then do I need to follow him back to the Holy Land? Hearing what Yifeng said, Zhu Kai on the side also hurriedly asked. Yes. Your concept of squandering money is too bad. Just when we return to the Holy Land, let others help you. However, we have to go back at this time tomorrow, because little spear dragon's long spear has not been built yet. After saying that, Yifeng pushed little spear dragon and Zhu Kai out of the guest room, and he lay down on the bed to rest. Little spear dragon, what are you going to do again? Seeing little spear dragon walking directly downstairs, Zhu Kai also shouted in extreme collapse. I heard those people say before that there are many treasures in a place called the City Lord's Mansion, so I plan to go to that City Lord's Mansion to grab a wave. Hearing Zhu Kai's inquiry, little spear dragon also expressed his thoughts with excitement. Fuck. You are a psychopath. That's the City Lord's Mansion. The City Lord of Kongling City is a strong man at the peak of the 3rd level of the Immortal Tribulation Realm. You really know how to choose a place. Looking at the little spear dragon that had already walked downstairs, Zhu Kai looked at Yifeng's guest room, and finally gritted his teeth and followed him. No matter whether the little girl eating a lollipop would take action at that time, Yifeng handed the little spear dragon to him, so he had to take responsibility. Sir. Just after walking out of the restaurant, when Zhu Kai saw Yi Xiaotang who suddenly appeared and blocked his way, he also shouted out with respect. These are 110th grade, 9th level theft immortal scrolls. My lord asked me to give them to you. My lord also asked me to tell you that the golden legend uses this theft immortal scroll, you can feel it first. When we go to the city lord's mansion, the little gun dragon will rob it, and you can steal yours. If there is a problem, I will take action. After handing the immortal ring containing 100 theft immortal scrolls to Zhu Kai, Yi Xiaotang also repeated Yi Feng's words. After saying that, Yi Xiaotang's eyes also revealed a touch of admiration, and he secretly said in his heart, the little gun dragon will rob in the open, and Zhu Kai will steal in the dark, and all this is under the control of my lord. I have to say that my lord is really good at playing. Zhu Kai, who was standing aside, looked at the immortal ring in his hand, but his face gradually revealed a touch of excitement, because he had a bold guess, that is, the golden legend is very likely related to Yi Feng. Don't worry, sir. I will definitely steal all their bitter tea seeds. After saying that, Zhu Kai chased after the little spear dragon with an excited look. City Lord's Mansion, study. City Lord Liang. As long as you accept this game, these fairy stones, fairy crystals, fairy mines, fairy herbs, elixirs, etc. will all be yours. So, do you dare to accept it? Yi Xiaobai, dressed in white, looked at the middle-aged man in front of him with a smile and asked. Chapter 380, Grab when you should, steal when you should, don't stand here stupidly. Who are you? Why do you want to play this strange game with me? After checking the various top-grade fairy stones, top-grade fairy crystals, high-grade fairy mines, fairy herbs, elixirs, and other things in the 10 fairy rings in front of him, Liang Chuan also looked at Yi Xiaobai with a serious face and asked. Because the things in these 10 fairy rings are too valuable, it is no exaggeration to say that once the things inside are spread out, his city lord's mansion will be burned, killed and looted 100 times. Moreover, he felt an extremely strong sense of crisis from the mysterious man in white in front of him. He dared to guarantee that he was definitely not the opponent's opponent. It doesn't matter who I am. And you should know very well that if I want to rob your city lord's mansion, you can't stop me at all. So, I didn't come here with hostility. Again, if you accept this game, then start hiding these things in various places in the city lord's mansion. After 2 hours, everything that has not been found will be yours. Of course, all the treasures in your city lord's mansion are also in the game, and you need to hide them all. If you continue to put them in the treasury, I will break the defense formation by then, and then it will not be our fault if they are robbed. 5. 4. After speaking, Yi Xiaobai started the countdown directly. This was the last time he gave the other party to consider. I accept. But I need half an hour to prepare. When Yi Xiaobai counted to 1, Liang Chuan also gritted his teeth and finally made a decision. Okay. Half an hour later, our people will enter the city lord's mansion to start this game. You should greet the people in the mansion in advance. After speaking, Yi Xiaobai turned around and left the study. It seems that we need to plan carefully. I have lived for so long, but this is the first time I have encountered such a surprising thing. Looking at Yi Xiaobai who was leaving, Liang Chuan put away the 10 fairy rings on the table and left the study, heading directly towards the special treasure house of the city lord's mansion. In the guest room of the restaurant. This game can make me lose a lot of things. It can also let Zhu Kai use such a precious theft fairy scroll in the game. In the end, Xiao Qianlun will also use it to lose things after he grabs the things. More importantly, I can get a wave of rewards for wasting money later. Thinking that his game of killing 4 birds with 1 stone was so perfect, Yi Feng couldn't help but want to praise himself. He felt that if he got other types of systems, he would really bury his talent in wasting money. On the other side, Zhu Dasha. Why do I feel like we have been walking in circles here? Finding himself in front of a familiar store again, Zia Qianglong also asked Zhu Kai with a puzzled look. Zhu Dasha? It's okay if you don't call me Zhu brother, but you actually call me Zhu Dasha? Hearing Zia Qianglong's address to himself, Zhu Kai was so angry that he wanted to kick him directly. Formation. Remember, this is called a formation. It seems that we have entered someone else's maze. Resisting the anger in his heart, Zhu Kai also explained to Zia Qianglong. Formation? Maze? After hearing this, Little Gun Dragon also revealed a puzzled look, and then looked at Zhu Kai and asked, so how do we get out? How do I know how to get out? Let's sit here and wait for Master Yi to come and save us. Hearing Little Gun Dragon's question, Zhu Kai also answered unhappily. Everything depends on the master. Why are you so useless? Hearing Zhu Kai's words, Little Gun Dragon also revealed a look of contempt. Huh? Zhu Dasha, what are you looking for? Seeing Zhu Kai looking for something everywhere, Little Gun Dragon also asked with curiosity. Where's my gun? Where's my black mystic dragon-breaking spear? I'll stab you to death, you annoying thing. After taking out the completely black mystic dragon-breaking spear from the fairy ring, Zhu Kai chased after the little spear dragon that had already run away. On the roof, not far away. Looking at Zhu Kai holding a spear and chasing the little spear dragon below, Yi Xiaotang couldn't help but laugh. The pursuit between the two-stroke youth and the two-stroke dragon is really fun. Half an hour later. Huh? Zhu Dasha, stop chasing. We seem to have escaped. After discovering that the surrounding shops were no longer the shops that he had seen repeatedly before, the little spear dragon also stopped and reminded Zhu Kai, who was deliberately not catching up with it. What are you waiting for? Hurry to the city lord's mansion. After hearing the reminder from the little spear dragon, Zhu Kai also discovered this situation, then put away the black mystic dragon-breaking spear and quickly ran towards the city lord's mansion. A moment later. Little spear dragon. The gate of the city lord's mansion is guarded by 2 immortal king realm experts. It will be difficult for us to get in. Before he finished speaking, Zhu Kai saw the little gun dragon walking directly towards the gate of the city lord's mansion, which made him sneer, what a little stupid dragon who knows nothing. If you can walk in smoothly, I will change my name to Zhu De in the future. Fuck. He actually went in? Are those 2 immortal king realm strong men blind? Before Zhu Kai could say the last word stupid, he watched the little gun dragon walk directly into the city lord's mansion with his pupils wide open. The whole process was not blocked at all. I'll try it too. Thinking of this, Zhu Kai gritted his teeth and walked directly towards the gate of the city lord's mansion. What's going on? Let us in on purpose? When Zhu Kai arrived at the gate of the city lord's mansion, he was really shocked when he found that the 2 immortal king realm guards turned their heads away and didn't look at him at all. After walking into the city lord's mansion very smoothly, when Zhu Kai found that Xiao Qianlong had found a lot of fairy grass in a rockery, and then put it in his arms in front of 10 patrol guards, he couldn't believe his eyes. He really wanted to ask the 10 patrol guards, are you all blind? My friend. What are you still looking at? If you need to grab it secretly, don't stand here stupidly. At this moment, a playful voice suddenly sounded from behind Zhu Kai. Are you? City Lord Liang Chuan? You don't stop us, but encourage us? When Zhu Kai turned around and saw the person standing behind him, he couldn't believe his ears. Why should I stop you? Don't worry, as long as you can get it, it's yours, I will never stop you from taking it. Looking at Zhu Kai, who was confused, Liang Chuan also said with a smile, and at the same time thought with great pride in his heart, I have hidden the 5 fairy rings containing 70% of the treasures in my bitter tea seed, you can't win this game.